What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about my muscle up journey, how I did my first muscle up, the trajectory, and how long it took me. Now, my journey was probably a little bit unconventional. I didn't follow any kind of fitness plan. I did my own thing, and that's how I got there, and it took me probably longer than it should have. I'm not going to say that I'm the best person to teach you how to do a muscle up. There's probably people who know how to do it better than me. But I did get there on my own. So let's get into it. Okay, the first thing that I did was probably 4 years ago or so. I did my first actual pull up, like legitimate pull up. Actually, I think it was a chin up technically. But yeah, that's what I did was you know, worked my way up. So I would jump and grab the bar with my chin over it. So I would jump up to the position and hold it to do a negative. Like I would do a negative down. I did that maybe 30 times at first a day. So I go there and do like 30 negatives, and then eventually I was able to do one chin up. After that, I worked to get to do one pull up, and then I just started cranking out reps. I would do maybe, I don't know, 30 a day, and then I went up to 60 a day, and it was taking me not hours to do that, but it took me a while to do 60 in a day. It probably took me like between a half hour and an hour because I wasn't very strong. And then I worked up to 100, and then it was eventually 200, and then eventually it was 300 in a day. I just kept working my way up in the number I would do per session. And the sessions would be 2 to 3 hours, for me to do 300. And then eventually I quit doing that. So when I did it also, let me add this, I would do half chin-ups, half pull-ups. So I would do 150 pull-ups, 150 chin-ups every session. Eventually I worked my way where I just said, screw it, you know what? I feel like this isn't getting me strong enough. I'm going to do them all L-sit. So I started doing L-sit pull-ups. The first day, I think I just did 300, even though they were bad form and, they weren't perfect, but I wanted to strengthen my core. I said, let me strengthen my core while I do my pull-ups. I'm going to do L-sit pull-ups from now on. So I just kept doing 300 of those. And eventually, for whatever reason, I can't remember why, I slowed those down and started only doing 200. So every session I would do 200 L-sit pull-ups. And then and that went on for like over a year. I would do 200 L-sit pull-ups. And I still couldn't muscle up. I was at the point where I could do 20 pull-ups L-sit. Now, I don't know if my L-sits are perfect or what. I'm not some, fitness coach or calisthenics guru or, entering contests or anything like that. But I could do 20 pull-ups with my legs out like that. So, and I was doing that consistently. Every single time I did the pull-ups was always 20 L-sit. I never did less for the first set. And then I still couldn't muscle up though. So, I don't know what to do. So I'm still carrying out this 200 L-sit practice every time I work out. And then my time is getting quicker and quicker. Like, I was doing them in like 30 minutes, the 200 L-sit pull-ups. And then I started doing weighted pull-ups one day because I can't remember how that sparked, but I started doing them weighted. I had a vest, actually. That's how I started. It was like a 40-pound vest. I bought a vest finally and started doing weighted pull-ups in addition to the L-sit pull-ups. And I would just do those. And, I probably could do I think I got up to like 14 with the vest. And then I went to the gym one day and tried using actual weights and a belt. And I had never been in a gym. I don't go to gyms or anything, so this was a whole new thing for me. So I go there and I use regular weights, and I end up, it just was so awkward. I ended up settling on using a kettlebell, and that was what I used. And I think I started at like 50 pounds with a kettlebell, and I eventually worked my way up to 60. And then I think, so I was doing 60 pounds for a long time, like probably a year. I was just doing just 60 pounds with the kettlebell. I wasn't working my way up in weight. And yeah, that was when I did my first muscle up, was around that time with the 60 pound weight. I think that, but it took me, let's see, I started in like early 2021 or late 2020, and I had my first muscle up, I think it was in like 2023, and that was when I did the first one.
No way.
And I couldn't have done it either without a swing. I took a big
Holy
swing on
shit.
that first muscle up that I did. I really wanted to be able to do it just pulling myself straight up without even swinging, and that was the whole goal. But it took me, like, the swing was the first one that I did. I just couldn't get it. I don't know why, but the weighted pull-ups definitely helped. I think the L-sits, if you kind of swing your legs out like that, it helps you get up above the bar. So the L-sits might have helped as well. And yeah, you just gotta, if you do weighted pull-ups chest to bar and you keep increasing the weight, eventually you're gonna have enough momentum to push yourself up over it. And yeah, you gotta jump towards the bar when you grab it a little bit so that you have momentum, you swing a little bit, and then you pull yourself up on top of the bar. Now, my first one wasn't very good. I mean, it was good, but it was mostly swing. Like, I really swung really hard to do it. And I think I just, like, smashed my chest on the bar the first couple ones that I did because I swung so much. And then following that, they just got better, more consistent. It took me a while for me after the first one that I did to be able to do it again. And then I finally was able to after a few months, and then that was that. I definitely wouldn't say I anywhere close to mastered the muscle up, but I got way better at doing muscle ups, you know. So yeah, I guess it's just something you just have to be consistent with. You gotta have enough strength in your pull-ups to do the high pull-up. It's gonna vary with everybody. I know people who can do it easier. You know, they can only do 13 reps, but they can muscle up somehow. Me, I wasn't able to do that. It took me being beyond 20 reps to even be able to do a muscle up. And yeah, it just varies from individual to individual. But yeah, you just got to keep going, keep fighting, keep trying, and just never give up. Eventually you'll get whatever goal you're looking for. Hopefully that can help people on their journey with their muscle up, to know that it can be a long process, and some people it's easier than others, and some people it's harder than others. It wasn't easy at all for me. So yeah.